Today I'm going to be making something really yummy, and these are my mini pecan tarts. So let's get on with the ingredients. 3/4 of a cup of corn syrup, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 5 tablespoons of butter, and I'm using unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cups of pecans, and 3 eggs. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Alright, I've got my syrup here. This is our corn syrup. And what I did was I put it in the microwave, 30 seconds on high, just to warm it up a little bit. That really helps it come out of the measuring cup a lot easier. So there we have it, there we go. And then our brown sugar. So this is our packed brown sugar. Okay, there we go. My butter is kind of cold, so I am just going to zap it a little bit to warm it up. It doesn't matter if it actually melts, because it's going to all melt in the oven anyway. This is a mixture, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to zap this a little bit. Okay, here's my butter. I'm going to get all of the lovely butter in there. There we go. I'm going to grab my mixer now, and I just want to start creaming all of this together. We'll just incorporate a little air into this and get all of those ingredients together nicely. Alright, and we're going to throw in our first egg. That's going to loosen this right up. Our second egg. And our third egg. I'm going to get all of our salt in there as well. Our vanilla. And our little bit of flour. There we go. I wish you could smell this. This smells really good. So just get it really well combined. Okay, that's perfect. Just like that. That's good. And then our 1.5 cups of pecans. Just pop all of those in there, and there we go. I'll grab a spatula and just incorporate those. And that's it with the actual filling. So now we're going to start working on our pie shell crust. Now I have made that in another recipe. I will link to that right at the end of this video, so you'll see a link to that video if you wish to see how to actually make the crust. So I'll get set up for that, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so here's my pie shell dough that I made in a video that you'll see a link to at the end. We're going to start off with one of these. Beautiful dough. And we made this in our Cuisinart. Okay, so I'm going to get down a little bit of bench flour. Flip that over. There we go. A little bit on the top. Okay. So we are going to be making small tarts today. And so I have tiny tart shell pans here with a removable bottom. Very nice. I've got an offset spatula, which I always like to use. I just slide that underneath. You can take a little bit of your bench flour as you're going and just slide it right underneath. Does a really nice job. Okay, you can also move it like that, rotate it, works well. You can see all of the nice little pieces of fat throughout the dough. Very nice. So if you like a thicker pie shell, go thick. If you like it thinner, you go thin. Whatever you like. There are no rules. Okay, there we go. And there we go. So, got one shell here. I'm just going to lift that up, place it like that, and get it right into place very gently. As always, you don't want to go, you know, really giving a lot of pressure. You want to kind of lift it and let the dough, the gravity or the weight of the dough, drop itself into, you know, your little pan, your tart pan. Okay, so just let it go. And what you can do is, as you're bringing it in, you can just kind of lift it over a little bit to give it a little bit more on the inside. Just like that. So you can bring it over, bring it inward and over, okay? Just like that. And then if you've got enough there, you can take your rolling pin and just go over the top. And that does a nice little cut. Just like that. And there we go. And then, by hand, just want to get that nicely in there, just like that. Just go around. Don't squeeze it into the corners. You just want to put that in lightly, just like that. And also, as you're going around, make sure it's flat on the top. Okay? Make sure it's flat on the top, because anything that, if you have little ridges sticking up, they're going to burn. The oven looks for those little areas and says, oh, let me burn you, because you're sticking up. You want to have it nice and flat and uniform. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay? So we'll do another one. If you're doing this, and if you're doing this at home, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. The more you roll out a dough like this, the tougher it becomes. So you're better off to use what you have and then just do a little operation. Take little pieces and form them in there. Okay? So I'm just going around. Here wasn't too bad because I had enough dough. So if you had, let's say, a little piece that was not large enough, don't go rolling out a huge piece. You know, don't clump all of this back together just so that you're going to, you know, get enough just to fill an extra little piece. You're much better off just cutting a little piece off and forming it in there. Once it's baked and everything's in there, no one will ever know. You know, when you see something at the pastry shop and it looks all perfect, well, it's not always the case, because everybody's human. You know, we're not using machines. Nothing's automated like you know, like things you get from the grocery store. So just like that, and just push down. You know, when you're in a big factory and they have these machines going, well, everything's automated, so everything's run by robots. So, you know, everything's going to be perfect all the time. Hopefully, right? So there we go. And I'm just going to gently get it in there and just make sure it's all nice and perfect. Just like that. Doesn't that look great? Perfect. So, I've got two others to do. I've got some dough left. So I'm going to finish these off and I'll come back when they're all done. Okay. We just want to grab our spatula and just make sure everything is well mixed once again. Okay. There we go. I'm going to grab a little measuring spoon, and I'm just going to get this mixture right in to these tart shell molds. That smells so good. Now if you make a large tart, a 9-inch tart, because the tart shell pan is higher, you are going to use this whole mixture here. But because these are smaller in diameter, the actual walls are not as high. There we go. I'm going to fill these just a little bit more. I actually made 2 more, which are slightly larger, with that same recipe. And we're going to bake these in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. And I'm also going to bake these on a tray, because if they do go over, then the mess goes into your tray and not into your oven. That looks good. Perfect. Alright, I've got myself a tray. And I will just get all of these on here. And there we go. That looks good. Into my 350 degree oven. I'll tell you exactly how long I bake them when I get back. Oh, that looks so good. Alright, I am back, and here are my beautiful pecan tarts. I baked them for exactly 60 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'll just show you what these look like. And this is the magic of having that little removable bottom that I showed you before. When you lift this out, you see there's the little bottom. See how nicely that comes out? You just take the bottom of it and you just push with your fingers and it just pops it right out. But look at that, is that beautiful? Don't worry, I will get a little closer up. I'll show you this on my little turntable thingy, just to get a little closer up view. And I will also cut into one so you can see an actual slice of this beautiful tart. But there we go. I'll show you the bottom as well. Very nice. Okay, so there we go. Yum. So these are my mini pecan tarts. A really, really fun recipe, easy to do, and a really, really beautiful final product. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Alright, let's just cut into one of these for fun. I'll just show you what they look like inside. Where are we here? Good, eh? Okay, perfect. There we go. Look at that. Nice and crunchy on the outside and still nice and moist inside, but not overflowing. Perfect. Really, really nice. Oh, that's good. That was really good.